what we're finally going to do is we're going to finally do what we started and what we set out to do. That's to get rid of this cheap piece of crap little headlight. I think it's probably 900 lumens or so, 12, 15 watts, I'm guessing. We're going to get rid of that. Now we got this. 2,500 lumens on low beam, 4,800 lumens on high beam, and it's actually a flat cutoff beam and projects out. Whereas this one kind of takes those 900 lumens and just throws it everywhere in front of you, which is great when you're doing like 20 miles an hour and you want to blind people. But when you're doing 50 miles an hour and you don't want cars in the other lane to like steer into you, you want something more like this. So I think it's time to see if it fits. If you didn't watch the assembly, I don't know if I'm putting it before or after this, but basically what we got is a 12 volt motorcycle, 5.75 inch LED headlight. The Magician Alpha has a 12 volt circuit, but I don't know what the max output is on it. And since this is a 45 watt light and I'm potentially upgrading to a 65 watt light, I put a DC to DC converter in here. So what we've got is we're gonna run 72 volts in. We're gonna run the 12 volt signal for the stock light, and that's gonna hit a relay to turn it on. And then I've got a set of switches so I can turn high beam, low beam, and then the daytime running light. So the master power will come from the bike, and then to switch between the different modes of this headlight will come from the switch mounted on the handlebar, which will actually be laying up here somewhere. Okay, it's not laying up there somewhere. It's it's laying down here somewhere. Here we go. Just a cheap little 3-position switch. So we got that. I think we're ready to go. Yeah, it's 20 degrees outside, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a sample. I think I'll project it up on the garage, but you really won't be able to see the difference until you get it out. And I actually think this one at, what's this, like 15 feet? I think this one at 15 feet, this one's probably gonna look brighter. So let's get this on, see what it looks like. So we're gonna run the wiring through all the factory locations. So we're gonna have to take the front cover off, take the battery out. And as always, if you first time taking the cover off, check those signal wires. I got the other video. The first couple batches, they didn't have them covered towards the ends, and mine were rubbing on stuff, so want to check those and make sure you get them covered. They could last a month, they could last 5 years, but now would be a good time to remove the battery. Okay, so inside we got, it's like 2 Phillips on the bottom and 2 on the top. Mine actually, you can hear it rattling around. This one over here is loose. And there's your inside. Look at how nice and neat those wires are. Yeah, all zip tied up. You know, not bouncing around or anything. And there's your plate. You got it. We got it. It's beacon. There we go. Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Just gonna throw this out there. So I'm not putting a fuse on it right now. I'm just connecting it direct, but definitely put a fuse on it. So we got our little. So I'm using the T like this because I'm planning on hooking up amplifiers and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm actually gonna replace this with some bigger wires down the line. But you can actually get a female to male XT90 with a little JST jumper, and I think they do them in like 16 or 18 gauge, something like that. Now on the inside. I don't know if it's better to run the wires below the fork, above. We'll find out. I'm not going to be able to put the fender all the way up in there. Fender's going to have to bend down. Otherwise it's going to touch the light. I'm putting quite a bit of torque, and the PLA hasn't cracked yet. Run 12-volt headlight. Okay, so I wasn't going to record this. I was just putting the plate on. And notice this. Let me see if I can get. See that? That's the brake cable. So it's rubbing on the edge of the plate. And then if you go up on the top. Okay. So before I close it up, give me an idea of what we tried doing here. So just went through with wire ties, made a little wire loom to spread everything out. This is the new wire that I added. You can see where I stabbed myself. So just keep it flat, and then down at the bottom, I took just an uncut heat shrink tube. One of the heavy duty ones. And I wedged it in underneath. This just supports the bracket, there's nothing behind it. So I wedged it over the wires. It ain't going anywhere. So last part that I gotta do is the switch. And the stupid thing doesn't have a hinge on it, so I gotta take all this off. No. Oop, that's more on. Wait. We worked a little magic here. I got the stock light is hooked up to the bike. I've got the new light hooked up to a 12-volt power supply. So that is the stock light. And then we'll kick on. That's the new light. And that's low beam, high beam. New light, old light. Now where you're really going to see the difference is once we get this out on the street. When it comes to long distance, we're talking 500 plus feet away. This light doesn't do anything at 500 plus feet. Just piss people off, that's all it does. Okay, so on the bottom we got the new light, on the top we got the old one. Then we're gonna do low beam, high beam. And it's kind of not gonna look right because the hill really doesn't let the high beam project out like it does on flat ground, but I didn't have anywhere else without streetlights, so it's the best I got. Kind of reminds me of Knight Rider or HAL, 2001 Space Odyssey. What are you doing, Dave? I can't let you do that, Dave. I'm going to be testing out this PLA one and see how long this mount lasts. For my real one, I'm going to do PETG, and I'll probably do blue and clear coat it. But first, I want to see if that mount's going to hold up. But yeah, if you try it, leave a comment. Let me know if it worked, didn't work. If you got other ideas, things that we can try. Yeah. Otherwise, like, subscribe. Until next time, have a good one.